Hello children, welcome to Standard 9 ICSE Biology class. In the previous class, we have discussed about the kinds of pollination. The two kinds of pollination are self-pollination and cross-pollination. And cross-pollination is having certain advantages over the self-pollination, like the offsprings produced are healthier, seeds produced are abundant and viable, and thus nature also favors cross-pollination. The vast majority of flowering plants are cross-pollinated, and let us see some of the various devices or contrivances or the conditions which favors cross-pollination. First one is unisexuality. Unisexual flowers may be either born on the same plant or separate plant. In both the cases, the only way for pollination is cross-pollination. Second one is different timings of maturation of androecium and gynoecium. This is called dichogamy. In many bisexual flowers, the anther and stigma of the same flower mature at different times. So, in some plants, anthers of the flower mature earlier than the stigma. Such a condition is called protandry. Example, lady's finger, sweet pea, salvia, sunflower, etc. And in some plants, the stigma of the flower matures earlier than the anthers. This condition is called protogyny. Example, custard apple, people, etc. In either cases, cross-pollination is the only possibility. Next one is self-sterility. This is a condition in which even if the stigma receives pollen from the anthers of the same flower, the pollen fails to undergo further growth. In such cases, only a pollen from different plant of the same species can effectively complete the process of producing the seeds. Example, ray florets of sunflower, orchids, etc. Fourth one is mechanical or structural barriers. This is called hercogamy. In some flowers, the pollen of a flower cannot reach the stigma of the same flower. For example, a hood covering the stigma acts as a mechanical barrier. Example, in pansy flowers, iris, etc. Next is heterostyle. In such flowers, the stigma and anthers grow at different heights, which does not favor self-pollination. Example, primrose, oxalis, etc. Next, let's study the agents of cross-pollination. The two most commonest agencies of cross-pollination are the insects and wind. Some flowers are also pollinated by certain animals and birds like squirrels, bats, etc. or even by water in case of some aquatic plants. Each category has some special features to promote chances of the pollination. Let's begin with insect pollination. Insect pollination is also called entomophilous. In such type of flowers, usually the following characteristics will be found. The flowers will be large and showy. They are usually brightly colored to attract the insects. They emit scent, the sweet fragrant substance, for attracting the insects. They also produce nectar, which is food for the insects. The pollen grains in such flowers are sticky or spiny to enable them to be carried by the insects easily by sticking on their body. The stigma is sticky and does not generally hang out of the flowers. In case the individual flowers are very small, these flowers tend to be in clusters to make them conspicuous. Example, dahlia, sunflower, etc. Let's move on to wind pollination. Wind pollination is also called anemophilous. In such case, the flowers usually possess certain special features like, as the flower need not attract any insect or birds, the flowers will be usually small, they are not brightly colored and often dull green in color and do not produce any scent or nectar. The stamens in such flowers are long and hang out of the flower to be exposed to wind. The anthers are large and loosely attached to this filament so that the slightest wind may make them move. Pollen is produced in very large quantities because as the pollinating agent is wind, there are less chances of these pollen falling on the flower itself. So, to increase the chance of pollination, more number or large quantities of pollen grains are produced. The pollen grains are also light, dry, and smooth so that they can be easily carried away by the wind. And the stigmas are feathery and hang out of the flower to trap the pollen grain carried by the wind. Next one is water pollination. It is also called hydrophilus. The flowers are found only in aquatic plants such as Vallisneria. They have the characteristic features such as the pollen grains are produced in large numbers. As the pollinating agent is water, there is less chance of the pollen grains falling on or reaching the flower. So to ensure or to increase the chance of pollination, the pollen grains are numerous. In some plants, the pollen grains have a specific gravity almost equal to that of the water so that they may remain floating above the surface of water, thus to increase the chance of pollination. In some special cases, male flowers may float on the surface of water till they meet the female flowers. Example, some flowers are also pollinated by birds. Example, Bignonia, Canna, etc. Pollination by birds is called ornithophily. Elephants also act as a pollinating agent. This is called elephophily. Elephophily is found in Rafflesia, whose flowers are very large and are found at the ground level. In contact with the pollen grains, the pollen grains stick to their feet and may be carried to the stigma of another flower. Till now, we have discussed about the two types of pollination. They are the self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination occurs by itself and cross-pollination requires pollinating agents. There is one more type of pollination which is called artificial pollination. Here, the agent of pollination is human beings. Human beings artificially transfer the pollens from the anther to the stigma of the desired plant, and this is called artificial pollination. Ancient time onwards, there was a common practice of sprinkling the male flowers of the palms onto the female flowers. In modern times, artificial pollination, also called artificial crossing, is a standard practice adopted by plant breeders and scientists in their efforts to evolve new varieties. In this, they remove the anthers in young flowers, which is called emasculation, and cover these flowers with plastic bags. Later, they pollinate such flowers with the pollen from the plants of the desired variety. Artificial pollination is commonly done in vanilla, orchid, etc. With this, we come to an end of our today's session. Thank you.